Let's get started. Firstly, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. I think the services that we're going to be showing you are really important for every small business owner. So listen up, take some notes, and if you have any questions, please get back to us afterwards. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So today I have with me Ace Fair. Ace is a rock star in Legal Shield, the company that provides these legal services. He's been with the company for, is it 28 years, Ace?
28 years.
28 years. And he is just an incredible wealth of information. He's been teaching Gary and me about the various services and how they work. I've had a chance to speak with the attorneys here in Nevada. Excellent people. And so we are really confident that these services are going to be exactly what you need as your business gets rolling and as it keeps growing. So Ace, I'm going to let you take it away. You know far more about this than I do. And I know everybody is waiting to see what it is that we've got to offer.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for the introduction. And I just love being around you and Gary. Just what good people you folks are, and just a wealth of information just from general business practices. The only sad part is that you guys didn't come into my life 20 years ago, but hey, you can't have everything sometimes, as I tell my wife. But wonderful to be here. And to everybody that's looking at this, we appreciate your time, and I'm going to try to be as succinct as I can and just give you the goodness of what we have here, because it's been truly wonderful for me and my wife. And just so you have a little Dun and Bradstreet about me, I have been with the company 28 years. My wife, who's my business partner, just like Wendy and Gary are business partners, she's been with me 22 of those years. And we both have a business background. I'm originally from Chicago, born and raised, and went off to school and came back and started working in corporate America and small business America. And then a lot of different entrepreneurial ventures. And it led me to PPLSI, Prepaid Legal, Legal Shield. Those are all names synonymous to our company 28 years ago. And when I saw it, I said, my goodness, what a concept, what an idea, would have saved our family thousands of dollars when I was growing up because of the legal things that transpired. So I started on a very part-time basis. And after about a year and a half, plus 2 years, decided that this is what I wanted to do as a career. So here we are. I moved to Vegas 23 years ago, and I met Gina. She was in property management. And within a couple of years, she joined me full time with this endeavor. And it's been very good to us, obviously, because we still do it, and we do it because we love it. It's a choice of helping business owners and professionals like you folks. So now that you know a little bit about me, let me share my screen here. And yep, you guys allowed me to do it. You don't need to see my email. You need to see the goodness of what we have. And let me play from this current slide. And so you see, not only have I been around 28 years, but our company, as you can see, 1972 has been around 50 years. So we are a rock solid operation, is what that tells you. In fact, when we got started, we were a private company. Then we went public, and we traded on the different exchanges in the beginning years, and then eventually got onto the New York Stock Exchange, where we were on from the mid 90s all the way up until 2011, when we got bought out by a New York-based equities group. They paid $651 million for us, so they decided to change our name from Prepaid Legal to Legal Shield, and thus here we are today. So obviously rock solid financially. 4.4 million lives in the United States and Canada, Wendy and Gary, that we're protecting and empowering, which is really great. And look at our vision, and I believe business professionals like us can really be behind a vision like this, which is to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. Now, I'm going to tell you, you can find a lot of positive written about us, but guess what? If you Google, you can find anything. You can find unpositives if you look at it. But guess what? Forbes, Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Bloomberg, Better Business Bureau have all said that we're doing really good work out there. And you don't stand the test of time of not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 decades strong without being a very strong force in the business communities throughout the United States and Canada, obviously the whole of North America. And here's what we are: disruptive innovation. Now, we actually were this for the last 50 years, but in recent years, this phrase is usually linked to technology, and it is with us as well, which means makes things simpler, easier, and more affordable. You might remember shopping at the mall, maybe. It's been a while since I've even been shopping in a regular store. Why? Because we order a lot of stuff these days, either through Amazon, even people like Walmart and Sam's Club have their own apps associated to them. You can either do a pickup delivery, or things can be delivered right to your home or business. And so thus is the world these days. We want it faster, we want it quicker, we want it more convenient, we want it on our own schedule. Buying CDs. You know, if you're a young person looking at this, you might not even know what a CD is. My grandson doesn't even know what a record is. Okay, why? Because he's been streaming music forever. And so a lot of us stream our music. I remember my wife sat here at this very computer about a year and a half ago, and she did a couple of things. Number one, she researched buying a van. She wanted a new van. And number two, she bought the van without leaving the house, just because we're in a different world. She bought it, and Wendy and Gary, she didn't wait for me to be there to go get it. She actually had it delivered to the house while I was out of town. Remarkable. And so that van didn't even have a CD player in it. Why? Because we stream our music from our mobile devices through the van. It's remarkable. And then, of course, how about legal? You know, we've needed a change in legal and accessing legal services forever. And now you don't have to shop, you don't have to Google, you don't have to do any of that, because now with Legal Shield and ID Shield and our suite of services, you can download this app and have access right at your fingertips, which is remarkable with our programming. Just talking about that, you know, uncertain times requires preparation. And how do you prepare if you don't even know what's coming? Well, this really speaks to the need of what we have. You know, have you thought about writing or revising your will? Most people have. Have you ever said, let me speak to your supervisor, and then they just kept passing you on, and you felt like a little person? I know I have, or mistreated, or bullied, in that matter of fact. Maybe a repairman wouldn't stand behind their work, so forth and so on. Been a victim of a data breach, lost your wallet. All these things actually come into play in our lives on a daily basis, in business and out of business. But what do we do about it? You know, what do we do about it? Well, now you can do something about it. Now you can get help. Tap Call Equal Access. You now have Legal Shield. Now, there's several products we have. We've got small business plans, and I'll talk about that just a little bit here today. We've got ID Shield for business. We've got trial defense supplements. You know, I know a lot of businesses, depending on their profession, they're worried about having a lawsuit these days. I know I talked to Wendy I think the other day. We talk every day, Wendy, so I can't remember when we had a certain conversation, you know, and we were talking about coaches, because Wendy is a fine business coach, as you know, and you know, coaches, they can be worried about being sued in a situation. Ministers, you know, different types of professions, teachers, educators, for that matter of fact. We have rideshare supplements, because that's a enriched profession these days. You know, Uber, Lyft drivers, you know, drop-offs for delivery, that sort of thing. We've got a gun owner's legal plan, commercial drivers legal plan, and some of these specialty plans, they're available in most states and most provinces, but there might be a few that they're not. So here is the foundation of our program: our personal plan, preventive legal services. This actually will help you probably 85 to 90% of the time, because at the end of the day, for the most part, people need to access their rights and find out what they can or cannot do, what they should or should not do. And so with personal legal advice, you can now pick up the phone, you can tap the app, or you can message the law firm. I believe, Wendy, your first interaction, you actually downloaded the app and messaged the law firm, which is pretty cool. I get chills just saying it because we didn't have that 5 years ago. But now through technology, we can actually offer that. And so whether you message the law firm, whether you call the law firm, when you talk to them, they're going to make sure of who you are, and then they're going to get you to the appropriate attorney. They do that within 4 to 8 business hours. I have to say it like that. I know sometimes it's a lot quicker, and people are amazed when it's quicker, but I have to say it like that. And they're going to give you that time you need to talk, and it's on an unlimited number of personal issues for an unlimited time. So 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, you can talk to the law firm. And here's the great news. You don't get a bill for that. Isn't that remarkable? At $300 and $400 and $500 an hour to talk to a law firm about anything under the sun and not get a bill for it because your monthly membership pays for that. Contracts and documents. Once you talk to the law firm, once you talk to that attorney, maybe there's a contract or document that needs to be reviewed. I know this happens a lot of times, especially from a business perspective, but of course, on a regular everyday basis as well. And then letters and phone calls on your behalf. Let me tell you about this. This allows our members like you to really flex your muscles, because a lot of times we're mistreated, we're bullied, we're not treated well. And so you wonder, what can you do? You know, if you write a letter to the company or call the company, I want to talk to your president. Sometimes it goes on deaf ears, but guess what doesn't? A letter from a law firm, a phone call from your attorney. And so if there's a third party situation where once you get that consultation, once they maybe review a document or whatever the case may be, if they determine that they can write a letter or make a phone call and it's legal for the attorneys to do it, they will absolutely do it. And I'm always reminded about several of my favorite stories. One is a gentleman here in town, retired Air Force colonel, dropped over some suits to the dry cleaners. And you know, they always check the suits and clothing before they accept them. And they did. When he came back and picked those clothing up, guess what? There was a hole in the back of one of his jackets. Now, you already know, no retired Air Force colonel is going to drop over a jacket with a hole in it. And number two, you know, they checked the stuff before they took it, but they went back and forth. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. What do you do in that situation? You're not going to call a $300 an hour attorney to fix a $100 problem. You just don't do that. You don't do that. But guess what? You folks and our members never have to worry about that again, because now you can tap that app. You can call your law firm like this retired Air Force colonel did and say, hey, look, they won't fix my jacket. They say I brought it in that way. We know I didn't. What can we do? They say, hey, sir, don't worry about it. We're going to write a letter to these folks and watch what happens. They wrote a letter to this dry cleaner. The dry cleaners got it. They called. They said, hello, sir. We're so sorry for the misunderstanding. We're sorry that this happened. Please bring the garment back in. We're going to fix it. And oh, by the way, we're going to give you your next 3 dry cleanings on us. So let your law firm know that we're handling it and we're taking really good care of you. Imagine that. Now, I tell you, sometimes different situations, they need to feel the heat of the law firm before they see the light. And that was the case here. And we've got, I mean, from the trivial to the traumatic, we can help somebody out. I'm always reminded about this gentleman because I've got cancer on both sides of my family. And so this gentleman had cancer here in the greater Las Vegas area. His doctor said, we got a procedure. We think it'll work for you. Here's a situation. We got to find out if your insurance company is going to okay it. It's a $100,000 procedure. And so with that, the insurance company at first denied it and said, nope, we're not going to pay for it. The law firm here locally wrote a letter for him. And I get chills even repeating this. From that letter, that insurance company said, you know what? We changed our mind. We're going to pay for the procedure. The gentleman got the procedure, Wendy and Gary, as you know, and he is now cancer free. And I just think about that. What if that was one of my loved ones? What if that was one of yours? You'd want that same thing to happen. So it doesn't matter if it's a couple $100 situation or $100,000 situation, anything in between. Our attorneys will write letters, make phone calls on your behalf to try to get that resolved. And that initiates thousands and millions of dollars back in the pockets of our members every year, to the tune of sometimes 20 to 30 million a year nationwide and Canada-wide. It's incredible. And then you can see different life events, from getting your will done, your living will, your healthcare power of attorney, financial power of attorney. You can have all that done at no cost to you. Traffic ticket assistance. We help if you get a speeding ticket, moving violation. It could be in your home state. It could be in another state. It doesn't matter. Civil and trial defense. If you ever get in a lawsuit situation, tax audit assistance. This can be very valuable because this is hefty when this happens and the IRS wants to review you, as you know. And then there's a 25% member discount. So the great news is, no matter what, you're always going to save money when you have a Legal Shield membership at the end of the day. And then our 24-hour emergency protection, in case you get stopped by the police, they want to question, detain, or arrest you, or you're in an accident, or if you have young children and the authorities want to take your kids away, you can actually call the emergency hotline 24/7, 365, even on holidays. And of course, we have something else here, Family Domestic Services. This kicks in 90 days after you have your membership as a bonus for sticking out your membership for the first 90 days. Because you see, our program is month to month. You're not contract hostage. You know, we feel you can pay by the month. We service you by the month. If we're giving you good service, you'll keep it forever and ever and ever. And so just imagine, you're not the consultants that you are. You're not, business owners. You're not, coaches or whatever your profession may be. I'm going to snap my fingers for 30 seconds. I want everybody, if you're looking at this replay, to think you're an attorney and you own a law firm. Imagine that. And you're $400 an hour. So you're a big time firm, Wendy and Gary. You're $400 an hour. You got all this staff, all these people. And I come to you and I say, look, I want you to provide all these things for me, but instead of paying $400 an hour, I want to pay a monthly fee. Doesn't matter what the check is, I'll write it. Well, folks, when I've asked people that over the last almost 30 years, they say, oh my goodness, Ace, you described so much stuff, I don't even know where to begin to charge you. But it would be a lot, maybe thousands of dollars. Well, through pulling all of our customers together, and because we've been doing this for so many years, it's just $29.95 a month, what I've just described. $29.95, about $1 a day. And that's not per person. That's actually you, your spouse or significant other, your kids up to 26 living at home with you, as long as they are still under your auspices. In fact, they could be away in college in other states and they're still covered. Your dependent children under the age of 18 that you might still be a legal guardian of, and then any physically or mentally challenged child under your care for life, even if they become an adult, as long as they're still in that capacity, we still will cover them under your membership, which I think is really, really great. Now, one thing that we know is that most of us here watching this today are business owners. Maybe you own a couple of LLCs or Incs like Wendy and Gary and me and my wife. Maybe you might have one business where it's home-based or where you're a solopreneur, and then maybe you have another business entity where you have business partners. I'll address that in a moment or two. But for those of you that are solopreneurs, or maybe it's just you and your spouse, this home-based supplement added on to your base personal plan will be of great value to you. Just like the personal plan, you have business legal advice unlimited number of business issues. Just imagine, now you can call not just your personal attorney and law firm, but your business attorney and ask business legal questions. And I know for years, Wendy and Gary have wanted this for you, but they just didn't know where to go. They didn't have an answer. We now have an answer, which is great. You got documents you can get reviewed for your business, letters and phone calls done on your behalf for your business to a third party where you might have some friction. Then there's collection letters. The good news about the collection letters is that when they collect for you, the law firm, they just give you all the money. They don't take a percentage, which most collection agencies, they all take a percentage. So you don't have to worry about that. And then one of my favorites, because I've been audited by the IRS, and I paid a lot of money to them. So I love this, that we have IRS audit legal services here for Schedule C and Schedule E if you file that way. And a lot of solopreneurs or entrepreneurs that are 1099 or maybe you have rental property or multiple businesses, I know, use this as a filing. So you'll enjoy that you have that protection. And then, of course, even out-of-state matters, you can get help, which is amazing. And then just listen to this. If you have multiple companies, but it's just you and your spouse, you still are eligible for this, and you can get this. This is remarkable. You can have up to 10 residential units or income properties. You can still have this and get help. You can have up to 5 different businesses as long as it's just you and your spouse. And this doesn't double the membership price. We just add another $14.95, which is remote. This could even be double or triple with this type of value, but it's not. So $44.90 with the $29.95 base legal plan, which you have to get this supplement and any of our other supplements as you will. Now, one other thing I'll just cover real quick, and then I'll pony back to the standalone business services is identity theft protection. This can just be horrible, okay, on a personal and a business standpoint. And so I don't have to explain the different areas of identity theft. You already know that there's Social Security identity theft. There's credit card. There's driver's license. There's medical, which can literally kill you, and so forth and so on. And so what we do, we have monitoring and alerts for everything that's significant. We call it your digital DNA, your Social Security number, passport, driver's license, email, medical, username, dark web. We're going to scour the dark web and social media to make sure your information is not being traded or sold, okay? And then privacy and reputation management. What might have looked cute 5 years ago on Facebook might not be so cute anymore now that you have a thriving business. You know, you might not want that memory to show up and be everywhere. So the licensed private investigators will scour through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and more to make sure your reputation is the way you want it online. And then, of course, at the end of the day, if somebody wants to steal your identity, these criminals are genius. They can get it done. So here's what we do. We have licensed private investigators. Number one, they're going to do whatever it takes. They're going to work as long as it takes, number two. And at the end of the day, they are going to restore your identity back to its pre-theft condition. That's our unlimited service guarantee. And on top of that, we add $1 million identity fraud protection plan to further serve you. And then we also have this available for small businesses as well. We're ranked by Forbes as #1 this past year. You can't get any better than that. And then, of course, here we have an individual program because unlike other things, this is individualized. Then we have our family plan, which covers a family, the member, their spouse, their significant other, and their kids, up to 10 kids. So here we go. Here's our basic pricing, $49.90 if you're an individual, our family, $64.90. And then if you add our home business supplement, $79.85. But one thing I want to do really quickly, I'm going to stop share, and I am going to grab one other thing real quick that I want to show you, and that is our small business offering if you have a standalone business. And hopefully, Gary and Wendy, you can let me know if this is being seen or not. Hopefully that's pulling up on the screen. Wendy and Gary, can you see it on your end? You can? Okay, great.
You can see it. It's a little small, but it's okay. You can speak to it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So if you have a business, ladies and gentlemen, where you might have business partners that you're not married to, okay, or maybe you have a business partner, you're in in California and they're in Colorado, because I thought of that because I got clients like that, Wendy and Gary. One partner's in California, one's in Colorado, and believe it or not, the business is here in Vegas. Okay, and one partner is moving here to Vegas, the one in California. So that's how it goes sometimes. So you might need what we call our standalone business plans. So we have the Pro plan, which is $169 a month. We have our Plus, which is $99, and we have our Essentials, which is $49. And really, it just matters, not necessarily the pricing, but what you want it to do. I just consulted with a company today that is, they are a personal assistance, and they are looking at our coverage, and they are wanting the $99 plan, which is our Plus plan. And of course, with all the plans, you get unlimited number of consultations. So right there, it's worth its weight in gold. So for your corporation or your LLC, where you might have business partners or where you might have heavier stuff that you need handled, these three robust plans can help you out. Letters and phone calls on your behalf, we'll do that for you. In the $99 plan, we'll do 20 of those for you annually. Then designated consultations. These are big buck attorneys. And then document review. This is a big one. And Wendy and Gary, I know you know, with your business experience, one of the number one things that business people have on their mind are contracts they're getting ready to sign, or contracts that they want to present to clients. And so in these plans, you can get those reviewed, and you'll go down here where it says custom contract drafting. I know for a fact most business attorneys, they do custom contract drafting, but it starts at about $1,500 to maybe $3,000 per contract. And I know right here in town, there's a business attorney that'll do them for a flat of $2,000. Well, if you have this program and you have our Plus program as an example, we'll do a custom contract draft up to 25 pages for just $250. Okay, and I'm chuckling. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how they do that. I'm just glad they do. I don't know how they do that. I don't know how our corporate got the law firm to agree to that. I don't. I'm that guy that if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me. Okay, because that's all I can tell you. I'm a complete open book. That's just remarkable to me. And I'll tell you, I have businesses, Wendy and Gary, and everybody else, they get our program just for that. Just for that. Because when they go in the marketplace and they get a quote of $2,000, they say, wait a minute, you mean for about $1,200 a year, I can have this whole program and get my contracts done for $250? I'll take it, and I'm not being presumptuous or assuming anything, but if you've dealt with attorneys, you realize that is a tremendous value. And then if you ever get audited by the IRS for your business, you got 25 hours of the tax attorney's time to help you with a business audit. If you have our $169 program, it's 50 hours. And then, of course, we always give a discount if there's other things that you have going on that's not in the program. So I wanted to take the time to kind of share that with you. And here, I got one other thing here. I'm going to pull back up our program here. And so then you can see this here in conclusion. And the pricing here again, the last thing is our member perks. So regardless of any program you have, from individual to family and business, or one of our business coverages, we're going to give you what's called member perks. And this allows you discounts. And you might have discounts through a business association or a chamber like me and Wendy and Gary and my wife do. But guess what? These are over 400 companies nationwide and in Canada that give our members discounts. And some of the businesses are local to you, and some local businesses can get added onto the program, okay, if they're referred, okay? And we've seen that happen down through the years. And I actually have members that save $100, $150, $200 a month being very aggressive using their member perks. And they like to brag to me, Wendy and Gary and everybody else, especially I have this one couple, they save about $200 a month, and they have this program here, our $79.85. And they say, hey, we're making money by having our legal program in place. It would cost us more in life and in business if we didn't have it, because we wouldn't have member perks. And I remember one time last year, they booked a hotel room here in Vegas, a staycation. They saved $160. And they're just always looking through the perks to make sure they're not overspending. And so they take that extra money like business people would. And do you know they invest it? I just think that's a hoot. But anyway, that's our program. Everything that I showed you is month to month. There's no contract. And Wendy and Gary have some other information they can send you if you need other information. And if need be, if you want a private consult, me, you, Wendy, and Gary can all get together on a private Zoom, and I can answer your questions even further or help you figure out what fits best for you and your business or businesses and your life in general. So with that being said, once again, my name is Ace Fair, and just happy to serve Wendy and Gary's clients and here to help. That's all we're here. We're here to help and to add value to you. Back to you, Wendy and Gary.
Okay. Ace, thank you so much for that overview. You know, as you were going through some of the stuff for the small business, it occurred to me that some of our clients from time to time have partnerships, or they need a different type of buy-sell agreement or anything. And so that offer of doing a document for $250 is gold. Just like you, I've spent, a couple of $1,000s getting documents done in the past. And so this is actually a real steal for that. So
I couldn't wait to get your opinion on that, because we, out of all the things we talked about, Wendy, we hadn't talked about that in particular. And it just seems like the last few customers that I've gotten, that's been a concern of theirs. In fact, the company that I did a consult with this morning, they're like, I can't believe that. And the only thing they're doing, they're now deciding between the 99 and the 169.
right.
And they're picking up the extra trial defense, because something that I might not have mentioned to everybody, there's actually a trial defense that you can get added on. And just like our other supplements, just $14.95 to a business plan in case you're in a lawsuit situation.
Right.
And it just so happened, the company that I was consulting with this morning, they faced that before, so they were most interested in that. So that's what they're going to decide over the next couple of days. But yeah, you hit it spot on. I mean, if that's what you got it for, which I'm having companies do that, as I mentioned, what a situation. Like I said, I don't know how they're doing it for that, and up to 25 pages.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what document you need for that's 25 pages, but a custom contract that's $10 a page. You can barely get the admin to type it up for that.
Absolutely. When we set up an LLC or corporation, we always tell people to go through it, make sure that you understand it, and to have your personal attorney review it. Mm-hmm. And so these documents are long.
Yeah.
And because they cover so many different areas. And this is one area where you could actually just send this over to the attorney and say, look, I set up an LLC. This is the operating agreement. What are your thoughts? Now, we've had the operating agreement reviewed by people's attorneys many times. And fortunately, we have a fairly robust operating system, or operating agreement. So we haven't had to make any changes for people. But the thing is that, for some people, occasionally, they're going to have a very specific situation that they want to have covered. And, what a better place to use your legal shield than to have, somebody go through that document, make the suggestions for changes and make the changes for you for such a reasonable amount of money.
Yep. Couldn't agree.
It is great. And you're right. You told me about the member perks initially, and I was like, yeah. Everybody has perks. And so I thought just on the off chance, I would go take a look, because as you know, Gary and I have a gazillion things going at the moment. And one of the things that has fallen off our plate is food. I mean, literally, I don't have time to cook. So Gary is very lucky if he gets breakfast in the morning, which is usually a bagel. I have time to shove a bagel in the oven and he gets a bagel. And that's kind of like it, that and tea in the morning, and that's it. So we normally used to have a good lunch. In fact, during COVID, I would cook lunch every day and, and feed him well while he was recovering. Well, now it's kind of like flying by. It's just like, we don't have time. So I thought, I'm going to go on Perks and see what they've got. And I found a company that delivers food that is really simple. And I actually have time to put it together. They have these things that are called oven ready, where you kind of throw everything into a pot, throw it in the oven and let it cook. And it was brilliant because usually these things, when you see them, there's a discount occasionally. Well, this is a legal shield discount. Like, it doesn't matter when you sign up, you get it. And I thought, cool, right? So I managed to, so I'm in there now with the running with your folks who are saving $200 a month. I'm in there.
Right. I love it. Yeah, it's I just think of these, and I tell you this. So this one particular couple, and I used to share this all the time. I've probably gotten used to it. They were so braggadocious about how much they were saving. I said, okay, I'm tired of hearing about it. I want to know exactly for this year how much you saved using member perks. And they calculated it. It was north of $2,800.
Wow.
And I said, you have got to be kidding me. And I knew they weren't kidding me, but I was like, wow. And they said, yeah. I said, it was 2,800. I think that was 2018. And they said it fluctuates a little bit, but that was the first year they used member perks for 12 months. And they came to me and they said $2,800. I was like, wow, amazing.
So that kind of pays for your membership right there.
Yeah.
And I actually believe them, because a couple of days ago, I was listening to my refrigerator, which actually is fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It was making a little bit of noise, and I thought, so I looked up in the manual, one of those, go read the manual. And it said, if it makes this noise, it's perfectly fine. If this is the function it's going through. And I'm like, okay, fine. But just in case I had to buy a refrigerator, I went on to membership perks just to see how much I could save. And the model I want, I could save over $1,000. I'm not kidding. And I'm like, yes, this is so cool. So I can get my for next to nothing. I can get my protection. I can get my IRS protection. I can get all of that stuff, and I could save money. So I'm a happy camper. And this is all Gary and I would love for our clients, because we've been looking for, for quite a while. We've had attorneys that we've worked with who've been very good to our clients. We've had, lots of people providing services, but we wanted something that everybody could afford.
Yeah.
And this is a program.
You needed something nationwide. You needed, you got, and everybody, I did not mention this, and I normally do. I don't know why this escaped me, but we got 39 law firms throughout the country. 39 law firms, not 39 attorneys. There's thousands of attorneys that are under our auspices in the different law firms. So your home state, you have a law firm, and the reason why we have 39 versus 50 is because some of these law firms, they got really smart in the early days, Wendy and Gary, and they started branching out. And some of our bigger law firms, they handle 2 and 3 and 4 states. Some of them do, because they've got offices in multiple states. So because they wanted to handle the Legal Shield business for other states, because you can see it's a win-win for everybody. Obviously, the rate is a win-win for the customer. And then, of course, the company obviously been around 5 decades, and you go from being a $500 million company to a $2 billion valuation. Your company is doing good. Okay, we're a debt-free corporation. And then the attorneys, they get paid anywhere between 20 and 25% of the monthly dues that we collect in each state. So right here in our state, in Nevada, we've got about almost 20,000 customers. Some states have 100,000. Some states have more than 100,000. So you can imagine that's a lot of money to those law firms. And that's why they answer the phone in 3 rings or less. That's why they call you back within 4 to 8 business hours. And my customers say, Ace, they didn't call back in 4 to 8 business hours. They call me back in an hour. Why do you tell me that? Because I have to legally. That's why, and that's why the service works the way it does. So everybody wins.
And these are the A team that you're getting. These are not, the law firms that nobody wants.
Right.
These are exceptionally good law firms. And the reason I'm saying that is because one of our clients was a little concerned about who she would be speaking with. So we did a little bit of investigating. And these are excellent law firms with people who've been around for a long time and really understand the law and also understand customer service. They know that when you call a law firm, many times there's going to be a problem, you're going to be worried. And so they treat you very well. My own experience has been excellent. I've talked to other people whose experiences have been exceptional. So we're really hoping that you will give this a try and use this, to your best advantage.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, well, thank you, Ace, so much. This has been a delight.
Yes.
For those of you who could not join us because it's in the middle of a business day, we're going to put the recording up so that you will be able to see it later on. And then again, if you have any questions at all, please get back to us. We'll be happy to answer them and even get you on a call. The 3 of us can come back together and answer your questions or send you whatever information you need. Okay, so hope you have an absolutely awesome day. Thanks, everybody.
Cool. All right.
Gary, will you stop recording, please?